12 News at 10 starts now.
Hundreds of shots fired at a Valley party and a woman is killed. We are live with what happened. A West Valley couple pleading for their dog's safe return after she's lost during a crash. How you can help. And a flight from California is diverted here to Phoenix. What we know about that Georgia-bound flight and why it was forced to land at Sky Harbor. Thank you for joining us for 12 News at 10. A man is in critical condition after he was stabbed early this morning in the East Valley. Phoenix police say it happened at an apartment complex near 52nd Street in McDowell about 2:30 this morning. One person has been detained in connection to the stabbing, but police have not released the names of the two men involved or a possible motive for the stabbing. A woman is killed after a crash on State Route 51, also early this morning. This happened between Shea Boulevard and Northern Avenue. DPS saying the woman was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from her car. There's no word on what caused this crash. It was a single-car crash, and you can see the wreckage here. DPS is investigating. A West Valley couple pleading for their dog's safe return after the dog ran away during a serious car crash west of the valley. It happened near the California border with Arizona. Tammy Ritchie says she and her dog Sadie, they were on I-10 near Blythe, California when she was involved in a car crash. Her car actually flipped 3 different times. She was airlifted to the hospital and the dog ran away. She's physically okay now, but she doesn't remember anything from the crash, including when her dog jumped out of the car and what happened to her. So it's now been a month since she's last seen her dog, but she hasn't lost hope that she's going to make it back.
Oh, I miss her. I love her. I want her to be home. She's my world.
So Sadie, you see her here, kind of a tan-colored multi-poo. She was wearing a pink floral collar with no tags, and she's also not microchipped. But if you know anything about her, if you were in that area about a month ago when this happened and you knew somebody picked up a dog, you were asked to give us a call, and we have her number for you on 12news.com. Tonight, a West Phoenix neighborhood left riddled with bullets after a deadly gunfight breaks out at a house party. Hundreds of rounds were fired. A woman was killed. A teenage boy was hurt. This happened near 35th Avenue in McDowell, and 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra has the story.
Detectives have been out here since 2 o'clock Sunday morning because of the magnitude of this investigation. They picked up over 300 shell casings, and nearly every car on this block and some of the homes were damaged in the gunfight. I want to show you some of that damage. Take a look at the side panel of this car where you can see one of those bullet holes, and we've seen dozens more just like that tonight. This echo of gunshots rang through a West Phoenix neighborhood for more than 20 minutes Sunday morning after a massive house party turned deadly.
Guns this side, guns that side, machine guns, whatever you could think of, everything. It went down. It was crazy.
This man living near 35th Avenue and McDowell Road didn't want to be identified for his own safety, but tells me he and his neighbors ducked for cover as several people started shooting at each other in the middle of the street.
They started shooting like crazy. We started getting a bunch of bullets to go towards us. We started getting hit over here from this side, from that side. They were shooting at us from everywhere.
Their homes and cars are now covered in bullet holes.
This one has bullet holes. That one has bullet holes. That one I got shot.
Phoenix police tell me a fight broke out during a house party leading to a shooting in front of the home. Detectives picked up more than 300 shell casings.
300 shell casings. Can you talk about how big of an investigation this is on scene for these detectives?
The scene alone is a huge undertaking to do, just because we want to make sure we're documenting all that.
Most people took off running or got in their cars and left before officers arrived. It's unclear how many people or guns were involved, but officers detained several people for questioning. No one was arrested.
We lost a life this morning. We definitely want to make sure that we get justice for her and her family.
Police say 21-year-old Amanda Franco was shot in front of the home. Firefighters performed CPR, but she died. A teenage boy also shot at the party later walked into an emergency room. He's expected to be okay.
It is concerning. That's not the type of exchange we want in this community, which is that much more important. We have to make sure we get all these individuals off the street.
Neighbors are shaken by what happened here, but thankful more people aren't hurt.
It's sad. It's sad how things are getting, man. You know what I mean? It's really sad.
Phoenix police are asking for anyone who might have witnessed this to contact investigators or silent witness to remain anonymous at 480-WITNESS. In Phoenix, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Gabby, thank you. Tomorrow, the Arizona trial begins for the so-called doomsday mom, Lori Vallow. Jury selection will begin in her case, and she is representing herself. In 2023, she was sentenced to life in prison in Idaho for killing her 2 young children. It was part of a doomsday cult with her husband, who was also convicted. Here in Arizona, she's facing 2 conspiracy to commit murder charges, and one of those is out of Chandler, where she's accused of conspiring to kill her former husband, Charles Vallow. 12 News will have continuing coverage this week on air and on 12news.com. This weekend, hundreds of people gathered at Tempe Diablo Stadium for the 25th annual Down Syndrome Walk. The event was organized by Down Syndrome Arizona, and this year they partnered with World of Illumination for the first ever Glow Walk, they called it. So it featured the world's largest walk-through LED tunnel, 400 feet long with 30,000 lights in it. Down Syndrome Arizona supports family with free services for people with Down syndrome from birth well into adulthood. Big cool down is in our forecast. Meteorologist Chris Dunn in tonight, getting you ready for the work week. We saw near 100 last week. Not so this week, Chris.
Yeah, kind of crazy how things change so much in the spring season. This is a season of transition, and our next transition will be to windy and cooler weather moving in. Not necessarily tomorrow. Here are the forecast numbers for tomorrow. 84 in Phoenix, 82 in Buckeye, and on the east side we'll be in the low 80s once again. So very much like today, but with the winds pushing in, it'll push those temperatures down, down, down. Look at this, 76 on Tuesday, a high of only 68 degrees on Wednesday. Through tomorrow afternoon, we will have actually another day in the 80s, so take it easy out there. But the wind will be up, the wind increasing, and a wind advisory in effect across northern Arizona. Here's our wind forecast model, gusting over 40 miles per hour, the Grand Canyon, gust over 30 miles per hour in Flagstaff, and gusting in that 15 to 20 mile per hour range. And meanwhile, high fire danger in southeastern Arizona with low humidity and gusts to 45 miles per hour with a fire weather watch there. Here's tomorrow in Phoenix. We start out in the 60s and end up in the 80s. 2 days from now, or 3 days from now, we will end up in the 60s for highs. How we get there and what to expect for the rest of the week, and talking some rain and snow around parts of the state, all coming up a little bit later on.
All right, Chris, thank you.